This week on the Road with Mickey, part two of our Disney Foods That Need to Return series. These foods are gone for less than a year.
We're on the road with Mickey, we're gonna have some fun. Regardless of the rain or sun, our trip has just begun. So buckle up, let's go. We're about to start the show. And maybe if you like us, you'll see where else we'll go.
Hey everyone, I'm Mike, and she's Sophie.
And she's Brenda.
Hi, everyone.
And he's Grogu. He says, I love talking about food.
Yay!
Yes.
He loves it so much he's waving his arms.
Yay!
And he's not the only one.
He's not the only one. And we are on the road with Mickey. This is episode 242 for October 28th, 2024. And our feature topic this week is part two of our Disney food series on foods that need to return. This week, we are looking at foods that are gone for less than a year. But as always, we first have to get started with some cheddar from the big cheese. And Brenda, you're starting us off with the cheddar.
Yay! Well, are you looking to go to Walt Disney World in 2025?
Yes.
Yes.
Yay! Me too. Until now, packages were only available through October 2025, but now you can book a Walt Disney World package for November and December 2025. I'm so excited because December is my favorite time of the year.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, good thing it's only a couple months away in 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't
Woo!
wait for our next trip.
I know.
Neither can I. But backing up a little bit from the December 2025, I have some stuff to talk about for May 2025. We already talked about this last week, but the Epic Universe opening date is May 22nd, 2025. And on October 22nd, the opportunity to secure your reservations opened up. So if you want to go, talk to Aunt Brenda or my dad, and they will be able to help you navigate this new environment at Universal, even though we've never been there.
Well,
That's
it's not
right.
open yet.
I
Not
know.
open yet.
So
Yeah.
we need to go, Daddy.
It's going to be epic.
It is going to be epic. Oh my gosh. The idea of going into the Ministry of Magic.
That's
I
what I'm
know.
most excited
Dude.
for.
Dude, I was like,
We need to go together, not in May. We need
Not
to go
in
together
May.
next year. That would be so
Yeah.
fun.
would be so cool.
24th birthday trip?
They're only allowing one-day tickets into that area, so
Yeah,
gotta
right
get it
now.
done.
Yeah. And something that has generated quite a bit of brouhaha is Disney has expanded Lightning Lane and they are introducing what they call the Premier Pass. It is exclusive, as far as I know, unless they've already changed it. I mean, hello, who knows? It is exclusive to Disney Deluxe and Deluxe Villa Resort guests. It's a pilot program. It's being tried out, and in my mind, to this old guy's thinking, it's a little bit like the Universal Express Pass. It's not
Yes,
Express
very
Pass
similar.
Unlimited. It's not Express Pass Unlimited because I don't think it's unlimited, but it's like Express Pass where you can go on different rides once throughout the day. And just based on what I've seen on the internet for pricing, it's kind of priced like Express Pass. If you were just buying Express Pass at Universal, it's kind of a similar thing, I think, in price. But anyway,
Well, at
I don't.
Disneyland, you don't have to stay at a deluxe property, though. There's any Disneyland guest
That's
can buy
true.
it.
That's true. That's true. So anyway, Lightning Lane Premier Pass. Let us know if you have questions. All right. Well, that is our cheddar for this week. And as always, the show notes have our ways that you can connect with us. We have our Facebook page, it's On the Road with Mickey. We have our Facebook group, which is the On the Road with Mickey group. Our YouTube channel is On the Road with Mickey, and all these links are in the show notes. On Instagram, you can find us also at On the Road with Mickey. Our email address is info@ontheroadwithmickey.com. And if you want to go back through almost 5 years, right, Sophie?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, almost 5 years of episodes. Go check us out at ontheroadwithmickey.com or pull us up on any of your favorite podcast apps, because we've been out since our first episode was January 6th, 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right
And we
before
average
COVID broke
about
everything.
50 episodes a year.
Yeah, so there's quite a bit out there.
And we're coming up on 250. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know. That's just amazing.
That is amazing.
Yes.
It is very, very amazing. And it is humbling that you guys have followed along with us for this long. And we love doing it, and we love talking to each other. And it gives Brenda and Sophie and I this really neat way of connecting every week, practically,
Every week.
Yep.
So we get to see how things are going, but we also love that you guys follow along with us. So thank you so much. It is heartfelt and it is genuine. We love that you guys follow along. So, all right. Well, our feature topic is our part two, right? Part two of Disney foods that need to return. Sophie's like, you all just need to stop.
I don't even know what do is.
Deux, part two.
You're trying to speak French?
It's sorta. It's not French, but it's sorta. I guess it might be French. I don't know. I'm not a linguist. You can
French
tell
for
that.
two, right? If
Oh,
it's not, then
goodness.
just play along.
Play
Oy,
along.
oy, oy. Well,
Anyway, we had this grandiose idea, or I guess Mike had this grandiose idea that we would do a 2-part series. Hey, let's do a 2-part series. Okay. And we looked last week at foods that were gone for over a year, and we actually had a pretty good episode of that, didn't we?
we
Yeah.
did.
And then
Daddy and I
this
had
week,
most of the same.
yeah. Main Street Bakery. You know what?
But
She's my kid and I love her, and that is proof positive that Sophie and I are on the same wavelength for a lot of different things, isn't it, baby?
if the stump the Soph wasn't already tail enough.
Yeah, that's true. But anyway, so we're like older than a year last week. This week, gone less than a year. How hard could it be?
Makes perfect sense.
Well, we shouldn't have
And-
we grossly overestimated Disney's ability to revamp their menus.
Or our ability to really find on the internet, because it's hard to find things sometimes of things that have been gone. I mean, Sophie pulling out the Main Street Bakery menu from 2012. Sophie, that was genius. And I never saw that. And so being able to find that, I'm like, dude. But
Dude.
But you know what? We're going to give you the skinny right now that the only one who has an actual item that's been gone for less than a year would be, of course, Aunt Brenda, because Aunt Brenda wins the internet.
Yeah.
So, Brenda, what is on your list of things that are gone for less than a year?
Well, I think we could partially agree, maybe, that we all love Mickey waffles.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a certain type of waffle that is considered to be a traditional Mickey waffle, and they have a consistency of being soft And you can, put compote on them, you can put syrup on them, you can put nothing on them if you don't want, but they have this certain consistency. And sometime within the past year, Disney decided that every waffle sold at a Disney park needed to be Mickey shaped. And that's great. But the Nutella waffle at Sleepy Hollow was its own sandwich type waffle that was a stronger consistency that you could actually walk around and have this snack. You could fold it in half and walk around and have this snack, which I did a
Countless
billion times.
times. Yeah.
Yes. And now it's gone. And now there's a Mickey shaped waffle that they now put compote on, and they put a bunch of like berry compote and then a couple pieces of fresh fruit, but it's doesn't hold up. It's soggy, if you let it sit, and you can't fold it in half and walk around with it. So even though the waffle may be tasty, I haven't tried it because I'm boycotting.
Oh.
But it's not the same as the Nutella waffle, the foldable sandwich waffle. And they also had one with fried chicken that you could do the same. They're both gone, but that's the only item I can think of that left during the past year that I miss. And I'm going to miss it forever.
You know what? And it's so funny. Sophie,
Yeah.
did you know your Aunt Brenda was a rebel? I had no idea.
I mean, she lives in Texas.
This is true. Yeah.
I'm going to
And
be
everything's
honest with you, though,
bigger in
Aunt Brenda.
Texas.
Yeah, I know everything's bigger in Texas because here's the thing. I've tried her Nutella waffle. I have no idea how she walks around with that thing. It is
Good.
huge.
Yeah.
It's huge, Aunt Brenda. I tried walking around with it the way you did because I was like, I need to have it. I need to have it. So we went to Sleepy Hollow and we got it. And then we had a dinner reservation over closer to Tomorrowland. And I tried to walk with it. And I was like, I can't eat this while I'm walking. So I just held it until we got to the restaurant because we were there hours early for whatever reason. And I ate it there.
Where were we eating?
I think Plaza.
Oh, the Plaza restaurant? Okay.
Yeah.
Off Main Street then, not
I
tomorrow.
know it was across the hub from Liberty Square, and that's the only place I can think of. So I'm pretty sure that's where we ate. If
Okay.
not Tony's, but I'm pretty sure it was Plaza.
Okay. I don't remember that, but I remember you getting it and we had to stop because it wasn't possible.
Well, and
to
I've
eat and
shared
walk.
it multiple times, cut it in half and still fold it over and eat it that way. I don't have any difficulty, but I also don't have any difficulty devouring that whole thing if it's my breakfast.
There you go.
Makes sense. I will say though, Aunt Brenda, I think you would be willing to give the new one a try because I've seen it and it's pretty. It's very, very pretty.
So
And
so
really,
it's Instagram friendly is what she's saying.
If you
I
take a
don't
picture of it
use
while it's on a
Instagram.
plate, but you won't be able to pick it up and take a picture of it. You won't be able to
No,
walk around with it.
no, you won't. But that's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, it's just that I'll miss it. And that's what the episode's all about. I'm going to
It's
miss
all
it.
right. I'll sneak in a jar of Nutella in my lounge fly for you.
I love Nutella.
You would
I
like the
know.
cake we're making at work. It's the cake of the month, and it has a whole bunch of Nutella in it. It is so
Yum.
good.
Yum.
So, with that being said, we are not done with this week's episode.
No.
I mean, we've only been on what 10 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
So we are segueing. The secondary topic is the best laid plans of mice and men, and actually we are going to stick to our topic of food.
Oh, yay.
And we are going to talk about foods that we don't want to ever see go away, or if you will, foods that we like so much that we want to have again, even if we haven't had them for a while. So, Sophie, you start us off.
Daddy's
She's
a little
like,
bit.
I ain't got nothing.
No. This is easy. This is significantly easier than trying to find foods that aren't there.
True.
And let me just say, I am really, really thinking about the Food and Wine Festival right now. And anyone who knows me knows how much I love, love, love the Japan Pavilion at Epcot. So my thing that I never want to see go away is those teriyaki chicken bao buns, or even the soy bao buns, but especially the teriyaki chicken bao buns. They are perfect. Like absolutely perfect. They are walkable, like Aunt Brenda's Nutella waffle, and they're actually walkable for me too, because it's literally just a roll of steamed dough. It has the stuff inside, and you can just, and they have a little paper cup that they come in, so you can set it down if you need to. It's good. It's really, really good.
It is
And
good.
they also have this watermelon lemonade or something like that that they serve there, and it's refreshing. It's sweet, and I wish it was colder, but it's still refreshing. And I'm getting thirsty just thinking about it.
Yeah.
That's a good one. They are good. She
Mhm.
told me about those a couple years ago, and I had one. She was right on.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
Right
You
on.
know, I had where was I? I had somewhere I had oh, it was on the cruise on the Utopia.
Mm.
I had some sort of tacos that were steamed buns. That was the appetizer. And they were
Interesting.
Oh
good.
yeah.
Remember I
You were
sent you the
telling me
picture.
about that. It was like this pork bao bun taco type thing. And you
Yeah.
said it was spicy.
It was a little spicy. It was good though.
Yeah.
It was good. Well, I'm going to talk real quick for a moment,
Hmm.
and I'm trying not to cough, but I have to. Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
Um, for me, I am going on a dessert kick to start anyway,
Yum.
and I never want to see go away. Um, well, I like them too. They're Cindy's favorite, but for me, the Mickey Premium Ice Cream Bar. I've gotten to where I like them. I had them like on the Disney Dream when we were on the cruise. I had like them 3 nights in a row for my
Heck
dessert.
yeah. Heck yeah.
Don't
With warm
fix what
chocolate chip
ain't
cookies
broken.
sandwiched in there. Heck yeah. I cannot
So
imagine the Mickey Premium Ice Cream Bar will ever go away from the Disney parks. That would
There's
be like
no possible
craziness.
way.
that would be like mutiny.
That would be mutiny. You got that right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. So
very
that's
good.
one for me. Brenda.
Well, my favorite snack hasn't changed in all these years, so I'm going to pray that it doesn't go anywhere, and that is the carrot cake cookie, which used to be at the Writer's Stop at Hollywood Studios, but is now at the Trolley Car Cafe, which is also the Starbucks that's in Hollywood Studios. And it is
Mhm.
amazing. And yes, I share it 4 ways whenever we go, but it is so delicious. I love it so much.
More for you and my dad, Aunt Brenda.
Yes,
Carrot
yum.
cake is not my cup of tea.
Love it.
I like it because it's health food.
Yeah, exactly. Now at Christmas
I
time they
mean,
do change it to the red velvet cake because of Christmas time, and then they put some red and green sprinkles on it. So it's not exactly the same, but I'll still take it. But I love the carrot cake cookie. So when we go in December, I can't get the carrot cake cookie, but I always know the next trip I'll get it. I
You
hope.
know, I'm pretty sure it's a seasonal item, but I'm pretty sure around Easter my store actually starts selling carrot cake cookies. I
Yum.
wonder if they would
ooh,
hold up together.
they might. Maybe,
I don't know.
maybe,
I'm pretty particular. I don't know.
Hmm.
I
but
know I
maybe
tried the
Sophie.
crumble. Do y'all have a crumble store there?
We have crumble cookie.
CRUMBL?
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
Well,
crumble
they make a
cookie.
carrot cake cookie, they say, is it a cookie or a cake? And it's the carrot cake version, and it tastes very, very, very similar.
So
Insomnia cookie is better.
There's a place, Insomnia Cookies, is right downtown by NC State, and they serve their cookies hot out of the oven.
And they're
And
open
they are
until like
so
2
good.
a.m. or something.
Yeah.
They are so good.
They are
I like
very,
them
very
better
good.
than crumble, but
We'll have to
we do
try
have
crumble.
crumbles. So what I'm thinking is Sophie needs to, when the carrot cake cookies come out at Publix, she needs to buy some and buy some of her Publix buttercream, and we'll stick them together and see if we can't make our own carrot cake cookies. What do you think, Soph?
I'll let you be my taste test, okay?
Yeah,
There you go.
that would be
Well,
awesome.
the Disney ones are perfect.
Well, good. Ooh, speaking of desserts, you've got me thinking now. You have got me thinking a whole lot. And the place that comes to mind right now is going to be over in France. Because if there's one thing Grogu and I love more than anything else when it comes to desserts, well, maybe not everything else, but it's something Grogu loves. We love macarons. And there is this place. It is, I don't remember what it's called, but it's the ice cream parlor in France, and they make these huge, huge macaron cookies, and they make them into ice cream sandwiches.
Oh.
Yes, and it's really expensive because macarons are expensive as they are, but imagine one that's huge, but it sounds good. It sounds really, really good. And I've never worked up the courage to actually buy one because of how expensive it is, but I want to.
Well, that sounds like a great idea. And I think you would buy one to share with someone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like your
Especially if
Aunt
they're that
Robin,
huge.
your Aunt Robin, your Meemaw. They would probably both like to try it. I'm not a
okay.
huge macaron fan, so you guys can have my share.
Yeah, Daddy doesn't like
But
macarons.
just not a fan. It's just not my jam.
Okay, you got your own jam.
That's right. So, sticking to things that we never want to see go away, and I'm still talking desserts. I'm going to switch away from this, but I, when we were there, and I don't know, a year or so ago, Cindy and I went to sit at the tables by the plaza for the parade, while Sophie and Brenda and Randy and Jagan went up, and
Aunt
were actually
Sheila.
closer to Sheila, sorry. They went up and were closer to the parade line so they could see the parade. And while we were there, Cindy went to the Plaza ice cream shop and bought for us to share a brownie sundae that was so incredibly delicious. Oh my gosh. It was so stinking good. That thing was gone in like 3 bites each. It was so
Yeah.
good. And we don't get that very often, but when you want it, you want it. And that is something that never needs to go away is the brownie ice cream sundae.
Yum. They have a lot of great ice cream sundaes over there.
That sounds really, really good. And I actually remember while you guys were getting the ice cream and Uncle Randy and Jagan were doing something else, I remember Aunt Sheila and I ran over to Sleepy Hollow and I got myself a funnel cake.
Oh, those are
that
good
was
too.
good. That was really,
You
really
know,
good.
funnel cakes are not exclusive to Disney, of course, but they are without a doubt one of the absolute best desserts you can have.
Oh, yeah.
Fried dough with powdered sugar. Hello.
Hello.
There's only one thing I can think of that's better.
And that
And
is?
Deep fried Oreos.
Oh my
fair.
goodness
Because
gracious.
when you deep fry them, the Oreo, it kind
Cream
of
melts.
the cream melts and the Oreo almost turns into fudge because it's like it takes in some of the moisture from the dough and the batter as well as the cream, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's good. It's good. It's good. It's
It's
like
good.
it's a funnel cake elevated, okay?
Dang. As Guy Fieri
That's
would say, the 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 water, the drool is just starting back here.
there you go. If you thought an Oreo wasn't ultra processed enough, let's process it some more.
Shh. It is American. It
As
is
apple pie.
wild. It lacks all decorum and respect for food, and that's what makes it good.
All right. Brenda, give us one.
No. Well, I'm gonna
Sophie,
go.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brenda.
I'm gonna go with my favorite dessert, of course, and it's the Gers bread and butter pudding at Raglan Road in Disney Springs, and I pray they never, ever, ever take that off the menu.
I agree.
So good.
Hey, Sophie.
Yes.
That is, I mean, I didn't say much about GERS because it goes without words. Goes
There
without
you
saying.
go. Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah.
mean, for those that are interested, you can go look. I will put a link in. You can go look at our episode when we did the the challenge, which is better, the bread and butter or the bread pudding
Ohana.
at Ohana or the bread and butter pudding at Raglan Road. And so I will post the link for that video because we had a lot of fun shooting that. And you know what? It's no accident that Butch won a lifetime achievement award for that episode as a videographer. You see how the story just keeps getting bigger and bigger the more I tell it.
Yes, that is so funny.
Next
But
time
that
I
was
talk
so much
about
fun,
it,
though. I
that
mean,
was so much
gathering
fun.
around food is what life is all about. We
It
had the
Yeah.
best
is.
time.
You know, next time I talk about that, we will learn that the American Film Institute created a videography section and named it after Butch because of his skill. Gosh, that was so much fun.
It
It
That
was.
was
was.
that was one of the best trips ever, and it wasn't just because of Sophie's birthday. That was the big reason, and that was the glue that brought us all together to celebrate. But
Yeah.
there were
Yeah.
so many wild, incredible memories from that trip. Wow. Anyway,
Amazing.
Sophie, I wanted to ask the
Mhm.
funnel cake and the Oreo cookies. Should those go on your list, or are those just segues,
Those are just
sidebars?
segues. Those are
I
Okay,
just
think
so
segues.
the funnel
Because the
cake
thing
should have made
is,
the list.
well, yeah, but
funnel
the thing
cake.
is, I know where to get funnel cake outside of Disney.
That's
No,
So
that's
true.
if
true.
for some
We're concentrating
demented
on. I gotcha.
reason Disney did get rid of the funnel cake, I would be okay.
I gotcha.
Plus,
I
it's
gotcha.
actually not that hard to make at home. You just need a pot of oil and some, like, what am I thinking of? Bisquick. Bisquick batter and a pot of boiling oil. You can make your own funnel cake or your own deep fried Oreos.
Yeah. Okay,
That's
Sophie,
true.
what's next on your list?
I'm going to step away from dessert because I feel like we've talked about a lot of dessert, a lot of it. But what I am going to do is I am going to talk about drinks. And there's this place
Oh.
in Hollywood Studios, and the last time I ate there was before I turned 21. So I did not have any alcohol while I was there, but it was called the Brown Derby. And while I was there, I had this thing called the Sunset Boulevard. It's a mocktail, but it was so good. It was like, I want to say lemonade. Um, some of the grenadine syrup is non-alcoholic,
Right.
right?
Right.
Yeah, so it was like lemonade, blue raspberry grenadine or something like that, and I think peach something or whatever in it. It tasted so good. And when I heard Sunset Boulevard, I was like, that's probably going to come out orange and pink like a sunset, right?
That's what I would have
No,
thought.
it came out blue. And I was like,
Hmm.
oh, that's not what I expected it to look like. But it was still really good. And I loved it. And it came with that glowy um, ice cube thing that
Hmm.
is reusable. It's not an actual ice cube, but it's cold and it has the battery in it that makes it glow all the different colors. I will, you could put any drink in front of me, and if it had that ice cube in it and I could see it, I would absolutely drink it. I don't care what's in that drink. I
Hmm.
love the ice cubes. I want to
Me
have like an
too.
entire dozen of those ice cubes so that I can use them at home.
We used to
We
collect those for the girls, and they'd come home and use them in everything.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, we use them sometimes too,
I
even
think
now.
unfortunately the ones that we have are out of battery juice though, and I have no
That
idea
could
Eventually,
how to
be.
yeah.
replace them.
That could
Yeah.
be. The
Maybe I
first
can
ones
find
we
another
ever
use.
got were from the Blue Bayou, and you and I
Oh
Oh,
both
yes.
had we both had drinks that had the ice cubes.
Mhm.
Because I'm like, that's is so cool.
I
And
know.
we're talking Brenda 2013, and
yeah.
we used them for years after that.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So anyway, that's
I
a good
remember
But
one
good
time
option.
when I was in Florida and I'd made myself an iced green tea in one of my cups when I was down in Florida, and it was the middle of the night, but I just wanted green tea, so I made it and I put ice in it to make it iced green tea. It didn't taste that good, but I put the LED ice cube in it and I had it set to neon green, and it was so funny. And I drank it all, so I'm proud of myself.
green tea is
There you
good
go.
for you.
It
Hmm.
is.
Yep.
All right. Well, we don't get this very often. I have some really fond memories of Sophie and I splitting this, but we haven't gotten
Oh.
it in a long time. And, it's so funny because when Sophie was a little kid, we would get the jumbo turkey leg, and, she would hold it like she was, I don't know, um, Wilma Flintstone or something eating, you know, and it's like this jumbo turkey leg is like the size of her head, and she's taking a bite out of it, and it's so funny to see. But those things, I don't know why, and we don't get it that often, but it's so good, and it is definitely something to share.
Mhm.
Definitely something you can share with many people. Um, and so a jumbo turkey leg is one of those things that I hope they never go away with, because when you want it, you want it. That's
yeah.
what it
Yeah.
all comes down to for these things, is when you want it, you want it.
Yeah. And it's one of the things that when we think about our memories of Disney, a lot of our memories include things like these. Like these
Yeah.
are our favorite, like they make a big part of our trip. It's the food.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Speaking of that, my next one is going to be no surprise. It's a cupcake. It's all the cupcakes. Disney
All the
has the
cupcakes.
ability to come up with amazing cupcake ideas, and they're beautiful and they're large. And one of my favorites through the years was the Butterfinger cupcake, which they now call something else like Butter Crunch. Something, I guess they can't use the word Butterfinger, but it's Butterfinger nonetheless. And it is so good. It is so, they have
So
the
you're saying
mound of, icing, and it's
Butterfinger,
covered with the Butterfinger or whatever they're calling it.
Butterfingers. So you're saying they're not allowed to use Butterfinger or say Butterfinger, but we're allowed to use and say Butterfinger all day
You
long.
know, we're
Butterfinger,
we're just people.
Butterfinger. I have
It's
a
a
question.
copyright thing, Daddy.
Yep.
Oh, I
It's
have a question though.
copyright. Yeah?
If you say Butterfinger 3 times fast, will a cupcake appear in Brenda's hands?
I wish it would.
Butterfinger,
Should we
Butterfinger,
try it?
Butterfinger.
Darn it.
Sorry,
It didn't
Brenda.
work.
It didn't work.
Yeah,
But
I
they're
don't
Oh
see a
well.
cupcake. Oh.
delicious Butterfinger cupcakes. Yum. And
Mhm.
other cupcakes around the park, especially seasonal, because they come out with different ones for Christmas, different ones for either just
So
they're creative as heck over there.
The last
two
time I
things.
went to Disney, yeah,
I'm sorry. Let me say this real quick.
yeah,
Two
go ahead.
things. For the description in the line in the show notes, I put all the cupcakes that Disney has ever made or will ever make for all creation.
Perfect.
That is Brenda's answer. And Brenda, on the Behind the Attractions series on Disney Plus, there was an episode on Disney food,
Oh yeah.
and they actually like there were some areas where they do the laboratories for creating their concoctions, where they blur out the name and everything, so you're not allowed to know where they are,
Uh-huh.
Mm.
and it's that top secret. And they were talking with some of the chefs, and one of the head chefs was like, you know what, I'll be working on something for Disney for whatever, and none of the other chefs will know what it is, and they'll be working on stuff, and I won't know what it is because it's that top secret. How
Wow.
about this is it was a Sophie and I
Wow.
watched it a little bit. I watched the whole thing. I think Sophie watched some of it, and it was like one of the most fascinating things to see how they go about doing all this. So look it up. Behind the
Wow.
Attractions, the one on Disney Food. It was
All
so
right.
Yeah.
good. So
Cool. Thank you for sharing.
anyway, now I'm sorry, Sophie, I interrupted you.
No, you're good. I was just cupcakes. I love cupcakes, and I remembered one that I had gotten the last time I went to Disney, and it was over at Gaston's, and it had the gray stuff on it. It was a chocolate cupcake with the gray stuff on top and a little fondant rose. I didn't eat the rose because I don't like the taste of fondant,
Ooh, me neither. Blah.
but the gray stuff. It's a cookies and cream mousse, which is actually not what it is in the movie, but in the parks, it's cookies and cream ice cream on
Hmm.
top of a chocolate cupcake
Or
Icing, yeah.
and yeah,
icing.
icing. Isn't that what I said?
You said ice cream.
I love cookies and cream ice cream too.
That's a
Yep.
good thing too.
Yes, but yes, gray stuff cupcake. So good. And I ate it while we were walking around the Magic Kingdom, Jagan and me, and that cupcake was so moist too. I was like, is this actually a cupcake? It feels really fudgy for a cupcake, but I ate the whole thing and it was delicious. You would love it, Aunt Brenda.
They really know how to do them. They are pros.
They do.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
Well, is that your selection for your next one, Sophie, or did you have another one you want to talk about?
No, that was my selection.
Okay. Um, you know what? I like savory foods. You wouldn't tell because 2/3 of my options have been sweet desserts. Um, but I like savory foods. And one of the things that I don't think they will ever get rid of, just because A, there's such a unique food that fits well everywhere, but B, because Mr. Disney loved them, is a hot dog. And so I don't think they will ever get rid of hot dogs, but I love hot dogs. And now the only thing I would say is when it comes to the hot dogs at Disney, most of them are a quarter-pound hot dog, and they're huge. And Cindy and I end up splitting them in half and sharing them because they're so big. Um, but hot dogs are on my list, and I just like hot dogs. So
Everything tastes better at Disney, so even if you can get a hot dog somewhere else, it's not going to taste the same as if you're in Disney parks eating it.
yeah, yeah.
Yum.
So
Oh, hot dogs.
I'm glad you did some savory because all I'm doing is sweet. I don't know why that is, but I have a sweet tooth, so I guess that's why. I
well,
only
now
have
you
one
do know
more.
why that is.
I have one more that to me is specifically to Disney, and that is the Cheshire Cat tail, and it's a chocolate croissant with pink, blue, and purple icing, and it's in the shape of a cat tail.
Mm.
But it is so good. So good.
Hmm.
One of my favorite treats. Over there, right
At
over
the
there by the
Cheshire Cat.
teacups. That's right.
Yeah.
Gotta get one. They're so good. They're so soft. They're just really good.
And you know what? Totally off topic, but the restrooms over by the Cheshire Cat
Yeah.
are a hidden gem because so many
Yeah.
people walk by and don't realize there's restrooms back there. So
That's right.
most
Yeah.
of the time they're not very busy.
Yeah, and they're small restrooms, but it doesn't matter because, they're never busy. I mean, we
Yeah,
lucked
Mhm.
out. Now all of a sudden there's going to be a billion people over there because, the show's so popular. But
exactly. Yeah,
It's all right. It's okay.
it's
Because the
okay.
beauty of Disney restrooms is that they are designed to get as many people in and out as possible. That's why
Mhm.
they don't have mirrors over their sinks because people have a tendency to stand and look at themselves. The
yeah, they
mirrors
do.
are off to the side.
That's right.
That's right.
On the way out usually or on the way in.
I never
Mhm.
thought of that. Good point.
Yeah.
Never thought of that.
Yep.
All right. Well, Sophie, you got one
Hmm.
more? You want to round it out with one more?
Give me a minute. I'm thinking.
Okay.
You know what sounds really good right now?
What's that?
Regal Eagle.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
So
I
never
think
get rid of the Regal Eagle, which is funny
no.
how it's a newer establishment, you know?
Yes, but especially their white cheddar mac and cheese.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Oh my gosh, I love that mac and cheese so much. And there's this place here in Raleigh. It's called I Heart Mac and Cheese. I've
And
been
more.
there. Yes, I've been there. Daddy and I have been there. It is the best mac and cheese that you'll find in North Carolina, with the exception of maybe some Southern grandma's secret recipe that I don't know about.
Mhm.
When I tell you the Regal Eagles mac and cheese is better than I Heart Mac and Cheese's mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Tongue
I'm gonna have
twister
That's
to
right
try
there.
that.
that is
It
saying
is
something.
so good.
Brenda,
Yeah,
you
I
and
gotta
And
try
Butch,
it.
we need to just buy you guys some plane tickets and come on up for
I
like
know.
eating around North Carolina with Mike, Cindy, and Sophie.
That's
yeah,
what it
You
and you
sounds
know?
can try
like.
some of my
Gosh,
recipes
there's
too
so many
because
good
I
places.
know the tomato-less pizza.
Yum.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Love
There are so
tomatoes.
many things you need to try here,
Yeah.
but specifically Regal Eagle and the watermelon. Regal Eagle is the only place I can think of where you can get watermelon, and my mom and I love it so much. Don't ever get rid of the watermelon.
That's a good
Right.
idea, especially in the summertime because that's so refreshing.
Yeah.
Anytime in Florida because Florida is always, well, not always, but Florida is, you need as much water as you can get, and watermelon is like super water.
Yep. All right. So one more on my list.
One more. Is it gonna be popcorn? Is it gonna be a banana split over there?
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
what's it gonna be?
I'll put one more with 6 items on it. You know what? That banana split at the Plaza restaurant is so good. Oh my gosh. And of course, popcorn at Disney just tastes better. Those weren't
Mhm.
the two I was thinking of though,
Oh,
you know?
really?
Yeah. Um, I'm gonna close it out with a sweet. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
And the sweet that I'm thinking about is, I started us off with a couple ice cream ones. And I don't know why, but for whatever reason, ice cream is on my mind. And
I want ice cream too.
I am thinking of the soft serve chocolate ice cream cone at the Nandapar food truck in Animal Kingdom, where we got them for free. That was like Disney magic.
Yeah.
B, that ice cream cone, it was a waffle cone, and the ice cream was probably a pound of ice cream in there. It was so much. Those ice cream cones were
good.
so big. It was man, it was incredible. And that's the funny thing about these memories is food triggers a memory and you remember exactly what you're doing when you were there and what you were doing. And that's the cool thing,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so that is my last item.
Nice.
I think that was a fun segue to have
That was.
come up with this list of things we don't want to ever see go away. And I think these are all safe bets to never go away,
Hope so.
because I mean, they're just so popular, not just with us, but with a lot of people. So I
Our
think
next trip can't get here fast enough.
Oh, it sure can't. All right. Well, that is our feature topics. You notice I use the word topics plural.
Good idea.
And it is
Good
now
idea.
time for this day in Disney history. So, Sophie, take it away.
Well, I have a really good bit of history. It's not necessarily to do with anything in particular that we talked about, but I quite like it. And the day is obviously October 28th. The year is 1971, where the Dapper Dans of Disney World, a barbershop quartet, performed their first show outside of Walt Disney World. It is an evening performance at a convention in Cocoa Beach, since relocating to Florida from Disneyland, California.
Wow.
That is so cool.
I didn't know they did that.
I didn't either.
Yeah, neither did I.
Pretty
know
But
cool.
I
what?
love the Dapper Dans. And actually,
I
you know
do
what?
too.
I just realized something that I can tie into this. The Dapper Dans were originally in Disneyland.
Mhm.
Well, I heard word that there is a third type of bread pudding coming to the Disney parks, and it can only be found in Disneyland. And it's called taro bread pudding or something to that effect. And it has boba pearls in it.
Hmm.
I don't
And
know.
That's surprising.
I
Yeah.
think it might be worth trying.
Yeah, I think bread pudding's always worth trying.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
We'll keep an
So,
eye out.
are you ready to not stump the Soph?
Dun dun dun.
Who knows? Maybe I might this week. Maybe I'm
I
feeling.
doubt it.
Hmm,
No.
Okay. No, I'm not either.
No.
And I think to a casual Disney fan, I don't know that these would be very easy to guess. But to
Daddy,
Sophie,
I'm
I think
not.
it's probably super easy. But
I'm not a casual Disney fan. You
For
you
sure
made
not.
sure of that since I was a little girl.
yeah. Yep. So Raksha.
Raksha. Raksha.
Yeah.
Can I have another one?
Aquila.
This is the Jungle Book.
It is the Jungle Book. So Raksha is Mowgli's adoptive mother.
I knew Aquila because I remembered it from the Jungle Book. Raksha was where I was having trouble. I almost said Raya and the Last Dragon.
Okay. And then The last one I had was, I was just going to say the Colonel.
The elephant.
Yes. And what's his name? Colonel.
I don't know.
Aquila is ELA.
Oh, got it. I'm writing all these down, everybody.
AKELA.
Oh.
The third one is Colonel Hathy. HATHI.
Ah,
H-A-T-H-I.
very good, Sophie.
But good job, Sophie. See, I told you.
Yay!
Easy peasy for Sophie.
Mhm.
Not necessarily for me.
Not for me.
And I thought Colonel Hathy would be very easy. So if it got into that, that's why I was just going to say the Colonel.
Yeah.
Very good, Sophie.
So.
Yep, she's amazing.
Well,
she
thank
is.
you.
She is. Well,
You're digging in
Brenda,
the weeds with these ones, though.
yeah, I am. It's got to be a little bit of a challenge, don't you think?
You're right.
All right. Well, good job, Sophie.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, Brenda, you want to close us out with a little bit of Walt?
Sure. Fun and wonder are the important elements, in addition to quality in production and performance, which are most responsible for the success of Disney productions. Fun and wonder.
Fun and wonder.
Fun and wonder.
Sounds like a song that would have been playing at the Universe of Energy or something.
Fun and wonder. It's a fun and wonderful world. No.
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 Nope.
Good quote. Thank you,
Walt
Brenda.
Disney knew his stuff.
Yeah, he did.
My
for
goodness.
Sure. All right, people, we have an easy topic for us. I'm like, we need something that will be really good. And I think something that a lot of people can relate to. And I think this food episode people will be able to relate to. But also next week, we are switching gears and looking at attractions at Walt Disney World. But we are looking at our top 5 relaxing attractions. So for me, that means Tower of Terror is not on my list.
I thought you said it would be on your list, Daddy.
Yeah, I was just joshing.
You said you were serious.
I was just Josh tomorrowing. So
Relaxing like the teacups.
yeah, at 100 miles an hour, and then you have to go throw up afterwards. Those are relaxing.
Relaxing like the rock and roller coaster.
Yes, that is very relaxing. Relaxing like Cosmic Rewind. Or
nice.
being in the dark, going down the mountain backwards on Expedition Everest. That is very relaxing.
You don't think Cosmic Rewind's relaxing?
Yeah.
No.
You don't think that blaring, wonderful music from Guardians of the Galaxy is relaxing?
I don't, relaxing like Space Mountain on a Halloween party where it seems like it's ramped up and it's faster.
Oh yeah, relaxing like Space Mountain and the Christmas party when they're playing a whole bunch of futuristic Christmas music.
Which is cool.
Ooh, relaxing like Sophie's first trip on Splash Mountain where my hat flew off. She screamed. She grabbed Cindy's arm down the 52-foot drop, and Cindy thought her arm was going to break. That was relaxing. You got to admit that was very relaxing.
All right, you guys, listen. We got to save some stuff for next week, okay?
Okay. So, relaxing.
Relaxing attractions.
Top 5 relaxing attractions at Walt Disney World.
We're going to see what our countdown brings. I have a feeling we're going to be overlapping.
We
Maybe
might.
a little.
But we're doing in order. 5 is your least relaxing. Number 1 is your most relaxing. So maybe Brenda's most relaxing is my number 3 on my most relaxing. I don't know. So
see, least relaxing suggests that this is a spectrum.
Well, yeah, there's a little bit of a spectrum on that. Yeah.
The least relaxing of the most relaxing.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes more sense.
Exactly.
Well,
All right.
You have to start somewhere.
Well, we hope you all have enjoyed our episode. I'm Mike. She's Sophie. That's Brenda. He's Grogu. And if you see someone without a smile, give them one of yours. If you have a rough day, I hope someone gives you a smile and makes it better. And I hope that throughout our time here that you have had a laugh or two at our expense, because that's what we love to do, is laugh at our own expenses. But until next week, we will
See you
see
on
you
the
on the
road.
road. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.